guys. I'm glad you could join me. I hope you're all doing well. I know I have been. But before I start our card pull, I want to show you a new product that I have. I have been actually making candles. I've been making lantern candles because Jesus is the way and the light and the truth. And then inside of them you can see that there are flowers in them, and they each have their own fragrant. Some are myrrh, some are frankincense and myrrh. I have one that is cinnamon and nutmeg fragrant, and I have other colors too, other than the white, cream, and the blue. I have a purple. Well, it's like a lavender purple, really pretty. It'll probably be a couple weeks still before I put them up on my website because I'm still working on them. I am actually figuring out how I want to design my labels and my boxes. So anyway, they are on pause, but that is what is coming. Yay! I know they are awesome. I absolutely love them. Okay. It's melodysloveandlight.com is my website if you want products in the name of Jesus. Let's see what we get in our Cards of Wisdom pull. If you're new here, this isn't tarot. It's biblical wisdom cards, well, knowledgeable wisdom cards. And then I pull from the deck that I created. Also, I created these decks. I'm very low. I don't have many left. I think I might have a couple packs of the Bible paragraph ones. But okay, our knowledge of wisdom card. This is what we have. It's all multicolored lantern. Some different colors in there. It's good. It's good that the world is colorful. Colorful as in diversity. I've been on this subject for a little while now. Being diverse. Did you know that if you are a person that's narrow-minded, then you are not okay with diversity? It actually means that you're rigid. You're a rigid individual. Therefore, you have a hard time accepting diversity, differences in beliefs, differences in people's color. So basically, if they aren't you, and I know this can be hard to hear for some, if you know that you're narrow-minded and rigid and you are prejudiced in some way or another because somebody isn't just like you or thinks just like you. But if it was that way, then no one would compliment anybody. We need diversity because where one person does things and sees things differently than this person sees and does things. And so when you bring them together, you complement each other. Does that make sense? People that are narrow-minded, this is the truth now. If you're narrow-minded, you're a person that's hard to work with because you only want to see your view. It's only your way, only your view, and no one else can be right. So it's kind of like they're the type of people that can't see the big picture. And the reason why they can't see the big picture is because in order to see the big picture, you have to be able to see all the details first. It's just like a detective. A detective has to get all the evidence, which is the details, so they can see the big picture of things. So there can be a right conclusion. Does that make sense? It's kind of like, a surgeon, he has to understand what he's working on. He has to understand all the parts, all the veins, everything, how it all connects as well, in order to have success when he goes in and does the surgery. So it's important that we allow ourselves to be open-minded, not closed off. If you're closed off, it'll be hard for you to gain success if you're going to be successful. I'm just saying it can hold an individual back from that. All right, let's read this card. You stand up for Christ by walking in his ways. Allow yourself to be on the narrow path that leads to life. If you're narrow-minded, you will never be open to the truth of God. The reason why is because Jesus said that you have to be born again. You have to be reborn. You have to learn everything that he taught and be willing to let go of what everybody else has taught you and what everybody else wants you to be. You have to be willing, able to let go of being validated, of feeling like you have to have recognition, and whichever way that you can get it, even if it's fraudulent. If it's lying on someone's name, it goes pretty deep. I mean, I could go on and on to the very depths of it, but I don't think I need to. If you want to perceive the truth for the greater gifts from God, if you want to perceive, then you have to be willing to hear and then do. So your life will change. Remember what I was saying in my previous videos when I said once your perspective changes, your reality changes. It's very hard to work with a narrow-minded individual that's always right. I don't feel like I know what I am right in because I've studied it first, down to the depth of it. I make sure that what I'm speaking on, if I'm going to impart information to other people, I make sure it's correct first. I don't just throw anything out there and say, hey, everybody, yeah, this is what I believe, and so I expect you to believe it. No, I actually do the research. I actually go in deep first, okay? And that's why my knowledge and my understanding is valid, okay? So don't just believe everything everybody tells you. Even what I tell you, just go research it. Go look it up. Look in the Bible, just start looking up things. Definitions of words I use that I explain, look it up. Dig deeper. Then, but I don't claim to be like, this, like, just perfect walking individual in the earth. No, I live righteously. I walk the ways that Jesus taught me to walk. But as far as being perfect in other ways, no. No. And and this is how I believe, and I feel like everybody should think, is that even if you know that, like, you have great morals and values, which is what Jesus taught. If you have morals and values, you have good standards, Well, you want obviously someone that that shares those same kind of morals and values, because it's good to have the same beliefs, but when it comes to other things, like maybe there's someone that you want to be with, that you love or whatever, or say your spouse, maybe he isn't perfect in everything, maybe that you may feel like you're perfect in or whatever, but it's just that, but is that person perfect for you though? Like, does that individual fulfill your wants and your needs? Does this person show you the love that you deserve? Even if they aren't like, maybe perfect. It's contingent really on can you accept someone that may fall short in an area that you don't? Is that something that you can accept? Because if we're looking for someone to be absolutely perfect in what we are expecting them to be, like in every area, because there's sectors, right? It's like compartments, like we want someone to be just like this and just like this and just like this, and they can't be like that and they can't be like this. But it's like you have to like break that down and go, okay, what really is most important though? What is most important, and can I live with this flaw that this person I really like has that I don't really care for? Can I live with that? And then if you can, well then okay, then you can come together. If not, keep your eye open for the one that you feel would be perfect for you, even though they're not perfect. So if we're looking for 100% perfection, folks, you're in a dream world. Yes. I just can't foresee that fantasy being fulfilled. But anyway, okay, so let's get our Bible card. This is something that we don't do. 1 John chapter 3 verse 7. Do not let anyone lead you astray. The one who does what is right is righteous, just as he is righteous. Yeah, and you do. You stand for Christ. You're standing up for him. You stand for his name when you live in righteousness. When you live in the ways that are right. People will come in and they'll try to lead you astray. If they try to do that, don't choose that person. If someone knows that you hold something very dear to you in your morals, in your standards, that you have a boundary that you don't want crossed, and they want to try to tear that boundary down because they don't want you to have it, because they want what they want, because they're selfish, because that's usually what that means, then they're wanting to lead you astray, and you just can't have that. So you need to stand up for yourself and for your beliefs. So obviously, we're not going to choose that individual, right? Because that individual crossed a boundary. That individual, maybe they disrespected you. They disrespected something that means a lot to you, and that person wasn't thinking about that. But through communication, those types of things can be cleared up, so things can be worked on. I feel like a lot of it is just, getting to know an individual. But right off, just, because you don't know when you meet people. I don't know why I'm on this subject, but I don't know, it's just whatever comes out. When you meet people, just understand that they may be an individual that, has certain morals and values and boundaries. And so you don't want to just say anything. You don't want to offend someone, and you can be yourself without offending someone. It's just having couth. That's what it is, having couth. We don't just say anything to somebody. We just don't. Sometimes when you stand up for Christ and what you believe in, you're walking in His ways, you're on that narrow path that no one wants to be on because they want to do whatever they want. It can bring persecutions, I remember one time there was this guy, he wanted to sleep with me. And he said something, he just said it, and it made me mad. It made me mad, especially because some way he had treated me previously to what he said. And I was like, well, you just don't do that. You just don't do that, okay? It's called having couth. You can't just talk to anybody anyway. I wasn't mean to him, but I took some measures after that I'm sure he heard about and didn't like. And I was attacked after that too. Yeah. Lied on, everything else. No, I left that whole scene for a reason. I was disrespected and I felt abused in ways, things that were said and done. I left. And if you stick around to be, put down in some way, or, to be made to feel like you're only worth one thing that you don't agree with, leave. Don't stick around. I hope you don't. I hope you don't. Because no one deserves to be treated in a way that belittles them. Don't belittle people. I have been gone from that scene for probably, 5.5, 6 years or something. I never went back. Because in my mind and in my heart, I'm like, how dare you? How dare you treat me like that? And that's how we start feeling, right? We're like, no. No matter what you have to go through, because of it, just go through it. It's better to go through it than to give up your morals. But, I feel like, what I feel like? Honestly, I feel like someone else's sin was laid on me. That's how I feel. Because he got mad because he didn't get his wish. So he started gossiping and bringing people against me, and with his witch girlfriends, I say plural, one in particular. And I see it as unfair. I feel like someone else's sins, they laid their sins as a burden on me. And I was good to those people. I was good to everybody. But they stepped a boundary that they never should have overstepped. And You know, especially, if you know that you're doing what's right, and you come to a point where you get really close to the Lord, he'll reveal things to you that are going on around you, and he'll even, give them warnings, and maybe even through you, the people that are wronging you that you know of, and eventually he'll call judgment. He will call judgment. And it's very bad when it gets to that point. It means God's judging them harshly. That's what it means. Now, if you have the power of God living in you, if you're filled with the Holy Spirit, then you have the power to ask God to relent. They make it right with you. To take his foot off their neck. Those people must learn that, you can't try to be God in someone's life, try to control it, try to tear someone down, cause them to look like someone that they're not, to try to ruin their life, their business, their car, whatever it may be. In my case, they wanted to take my whole life. They just wanted to ruin it. They just wanted me dead. Period. Okay? It just came to that. But I'm still here. Didn't work. I'm still here. I'm well, and I'm alive, and I have everything I need and more. It didn't work. So what they did, everything they did was in vain. They wasted money on stuff for witchcraft, and paying someone $600 to come up against me didn't work. Paying people money to wrong me didn't work. People, that's the extent others will go. And those are usually the narrow-minded people. And if you feel, if this video is doing something to you, if it's making you feel upset in your heart, then I want you to really look at yourself right now and say, is this me? Am I that type of person that, that's wrong? That's wrong. That is not seeing things correctly. That maybe you really offended someone and hurt their heart, and so they rebelled against you, and they had good cause to. They had good cause to walk away and not want to talk to you and keep you out of their life forever. No matter, even if they cared for you, even if they loved you, even no matter what. Because they're not going to be treated like that. Right? Yeah. So if that irks your heart, well, just allow yourself to see the truth for what it is instead of lying to yourself. Don't let anyone lead you astray no matter what. Like I've said in the past, no man is worth eternal death for you. No man. Okay? Let him lie. And let him slander. But boy, I tell you what, there will come a time where you'll speak your truth, just like I am right now. You will speak your truth. And you know what? If it comes to court, then we'll let it. They can lose whatever they have left. Okay, let's get in the teacher book. Well, that brought up some feistiness, fire in me, didn't it? Yeah, because I went through that. You know what? Yeah, and I have a right to feel the way that I feel. Does that person, though, does that Mel have a right, though, to be angry at me because I wouldn't sleep with him? Oh, and then I had another one, like another guy that knew that guy. I was like hanging out with him, and he pulls out all these condoms, and I'm like, excuse me? Like he thought I was gonna sleep with him. I'm like, no, no. I think y'all got me all wrong. Yeah, yeah. You know, and I wasn't even dressing, I didn't even dress like provocative or anything. Like I'm like, where are they getting this from? You know, is that what they were trying to make me look like? But like the first guy, is that what he's trying to make me look like? Like I was a prostitute or something? Or like I just give out the cookies for free? No, I don't give them out at all. As a matter of fact, you know what? I have been celibate for, 7.5 years? Yeah. And I don't date. I've been single. I stay single. You know, even when I was hanging out with Eric, I never kissed him, never did anything with him. He was just a friend that I was hanging out with for a little while. But, But, people put in their minds what they want to think and believe. That's what they do. Yeah. They'll paint a picture of who they want you to be, and then that's just who you are. And then they talk about everybody who they want you to be. Yeah, that's what they do. Okay. So in my teacher book, I came to a page, faithfulness. Faithfulness. I don't think I have ever really truly met like a friend that's faithful. Yeah, or really a boyfriend or anything. Like, who's faithful anymore? Who is faithful? Who's loyal? I am. I'm faithful and I'm loyal. And I think about other people's feelings, and I do care. I hope you do. I hope you are a faithful person. I hope that you're loyal to people, because it's a part of being upright, of walking on the right path. It's a person that doesn't allow themselves to be narrow-minded, but be on the narrow path, the path that people don't want to be on. How many people do you know like that? If this is stirring your heart, if it's making you mad, what I'm speaking, like I said, this is a time to yourself to ask yourself why. If any of my videos trigger you, why? The truth should never trigger you in a negative way. It's meant to trigger you in a good way. The Word of God is a double-edged sword. It is. Okay? And it pierces the heart. It's supposed to. And it's supposed to make you go, oh my gosh. It's supposed to cause you to look in the mirror. Because if we don't do that, we won't change. We won't see that we need to change to change. So there's the detail there. The detail is, first, you have to see that you need to change, because you're seeing what it is that you need to change, everything that you need to change, and then you can change it. So then we have the big picture, which is seeing Christ for who He is. We now have clarity in what is good and what is not. So we can walk in a way with morals and values of what's good. And people will like you. Yeah. Okay, faithfulness. Psalms chapter 33, verse 4. For the word of the Lord is upright, and all His work is done in faithfulness. Even His work is done in faithfulness. Why? Because He's our example. So we are faithful to the Lord, and when we do His work, even if you're a musician and you're you're a musician for positivity and you're faithful in it, you continue in it, because that's what you were called to do. That is your work, and that is a good thing. Whatever it is, if it's to go out and preach, to be an evangelist, to be on here like I am, to whatever it may be. All right? to serve, you know, at a homeless shelter. I mean, there's so many things. The poor. You know, if you're meant to be a humanitarian and, you know, in another country and help them to be fed and clothed, to do medical work there. Serve with faithfulness and with fervor. No matter how tired you get, it doesn't matter. You know, take your little rest and then go back out and you pray in between. The word of the Lord is upright. So don't let anyone lead you astray. Okay, remember, I will have these up in a couple weeks. I will let you know. They're so pretty, for real. Like that, you know, seeing them in the camera doesn't do it any justice. It's when you see it in person, it's like, oh my gosh, right? I think this one's more my favorite though. Yeah, so neat. The lantern! Okay, anyway. I'll talk to you guys again soon. May the Lord be about each and every one of you. And always keep the light on in your heart. I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.